You look like the guy from Animal House.
Bluto?
What's going on, guys? The NFL Playoff Futures Calculator, Fat Guy and I have created. People bring us their gambling problems, and hopefully this is a solution for you guys to help you out.
Yeah, we have something called an NFL futures calculator. So what it does is it takes NFL futures, who's going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to win the AFC and NFC championship, and it answers the two questions. Who do I bet on and how much do I bet? So the NFL futures calculator takes your evaluations of each team and then takes your bankroll and your risk strategy and answers those two questions. You're able to access the NFL futures calculator if you're a member of the Big Ryan the Fat Guy YouTube membership, which you just click join right down there. Now let's get to a little bit of a demonstration as far as the calculator is concerned.
Sounds good, Fat Guy. So anything highlighted in blue is something that you guys can change. So obviously the teams are set, so that's not going to change. But you can input the team strength, what the home field advantage is if you think there is any for each team, as well as the odds that are offered to you at your book. And then you'll see here at the bottom, you also have the option to enter in your bankroll and your Kelly criterion percentage. So Fat Guy, let's jump straight in and show the people at home an example. Maybe this isn't exactly what you think, but just a random set of numbers here on how good you think each team is. So let's start off with Kansas City.
Loosely random. And now it's a number between 1 and 16 and a whole number. How do you think they would fare on against neutral opponents on a neutral field? So Kansas City finished with 14 wins. Why not the number 14?
How about for Buffalo?
12 sounds good.
For Pittsburgh?
12 as well.
So 12 wins over a season. Tennessee?
A little bit weaker. Let's go with 10.
So 10 wins on average over a season. Baltimore?
They went to overtime against Baltimore, so 10 feels right.
10 average wins for Baltimore. How many average wins would Cleveland have?
Brown's going to Brown. They over-exceeded themselves. Let's go with 6.
6 wins on average. How about Cleveland on average? What would they be?
Well, Indianapolis would be a 9.
Thank you very much. Green Bay?
They're close to KC, I feel like. 13 is a good one.
How about for New Orleans?
12.
For Seattle?
11.
Washington average wins?
Let's go with 7. They finished with 7. I think that's good enough.
Tampa Bay?
I think they're a little bit better than they had showing, and a lot of people believe in them. Let's go with Tampa Bay 11.
And for the Rams with Wolford as the starting quarterback for a full season?
Normally this would be a 9 or a 10 perhaps with Goff, but with John Wolford, let's put in 5.
And the Chicago Bears?
Let's go with 8.
8 wins. And then for bankroll, you guys can put in any number from $1 to $1 million, however many that is.
Well, it's 100,000, a good try.
Let's do 1,000 as a
1,000's easy.
As an easy one. And then Kelly criterion percentage is interesting. So full Kelly criterion would be 100% here. We use 25% to be a little bit less risky. Fat Guy could probably give you a better explanation than I can, but the Kelly criterion in sense is a way to show you how much you should put on a bet based off of the odds offered and your projection that you have.
It pretty much turns your expected value into a number and then assesses that risk by the amount of Kelly criterion that you want to do. Full Kelly criterion, as Big Ry mentioned, 100 is risky. 1 would be ultra conservative. Standard for me in this situation would be 25.
Before we look at the results, I just want to go over some housekeeping stuff for you guys. Home field advantage can go up anywhere from 0 to however high you want it to be, but it can only go up in half-point increments. So 0.5, -1, -1.5, -2, etc., etc.
What he means is how many points will being at home add to the team, and it's expressed in a negative number.
So, like, for instance here, if the Chiefs are playing at home in Arrowhead, we give them 1 extra point according to this. But you could make it, we've had in the past as high as 4.5 for teams and as low as 0. So it just depends on how you personally feel about the home field advantage on there. And then the odds right now, you have to enter them in American odds style. So that's just something we have set up right now. But Fat Guy, let's get on to the results. So now that we know that all these teams are playing, what the team strength is, the home field advantage, and the odds offered, what does this information over here tell us?
It tells us the answer to those 2 burning questions. Who do I bet on and how much do I bet? So it looks like our largest bet would be on the AFC Championship for the Kansas City Chiefs at 38.84 to possibly profit $40.01. That's as far as the AFC and NFC Championship goes. And then if we slide over to Super Bowl, it would also be the Chiefs at 22.51 to profit $50.66. Now, another interesting facet of it is it calculates the amount of edge, and the amount of edge that we would have is greatest with Green Bay winning the NFC Championship at 8.05% if just 2 cells to the left of where Big Rye clicked.
And these numbers will change depending on how you feel. So even if you got a buddy that has the same type of thing, like you guys can put in whatever it is, 10, 11. Maybe you guys think the Steelers are awesome. Maybe you guys think the Browns are awesome. And it's going to tell you accordingly based off those odds and your projections where the best bet will be. So these numbers can fluctuate and change as much as you'd like. Maybe you think Green Bay sucks. Maybe Wolford is your favorite quarterback of all time. So it'll change depending on how you feel about every single one of these things and why this calculator is so unique and why it's a question that the Fat Guy and I can't just answer for you guys really quickly, because there is a ton of math that goes into all of these. You know, every single one of these teams, you have to go through every single scenario on how each team wins. So instead of doing that all on your own, you guys can use the tool that we've created, put your own input in, and it's going to save you a lot of time. That's for sure.